If I had a nickel for every time we have to wait on someone that delays qualifying, it wouldn't help me move out, but it's still money nonetheless. Located in Hampton, Georgia, sits the infamous Atlanta Motor Speedway, where they would play host to the Budweiser Cup Series, much like the holler over there. Tonight, it'll be the Quaker State 400, our fourth race of the season, whilst qualifying is ongoing. Take a look at points. 3 races in. Our last race was at Riverside, and it's still JLP at the top of the board, despite missing that race, only by 9 points over Jugo Shinonome. Hector Garcia, William Gregory, Arthur Xavier, your top 5. Laura Chenor, Sierra Cooper, Bun Fisher, Julian Bowman, and Skylar Deeg, your top 10. JLP really maxed out his triumphs at Auto Club 2 races ago now, to keep the points lead that he has, and he is here tonight, hoping to defend the throne for the time being. 12 seconds left in queue. Might as well wait this out a little bit longer, just to give us a surprise. And it is Skylar Deeg on pole, Daniel Sella on the front row. That is something I'm probably never going to say again, as long as he remains irrelevant. Row 2 has Alexander Hunt and GLP. Row 3 has Garcia and Wall. Row 4 has Tranor and Scott, while row 5 has Gregory and Shinonome. Row 6 is Ponky and Fisher. Then row 7, Simpson and Lieb. Then row 8, the final row, has G-Man and Mullen. Mullen didn't have a good qualifying run, so that completes the 16-car grid, and everyone has set a lap. Good job, folks. So, Atlanta is your usual suspects of high tire wear, and it's more or less the case here. This is the BR version, built around BR version of the track, but it is OSCC spec, so high amounts of tire heat will go into the tires, and the drivers are gonna have to play around with it as the race progresses. Might as well get our cams while we do stuff. So, big penalties that came out of this last race at Riverside. There were two things. One is what we expected, a suspension for the number 15 of Oliver Leon for wrecking a lead-lapped car while he was a lapped car. Bro just killed him. He killed Friesen Rodriguez for no reason other than he could. So that would be a 2-race suspension on top of a 3-race probation when he gets back. The second penalty goes to Julian Bowman, who gets a 2-race probation after causing a 1 wreck and also actually 2 wrecks, sorry. 2 wrecks and just spinning excessive self-spins. That's the word I'm looking for. Those are your penalties heading into tonight at very minimum. Happy hour currently ongoing. 7 minutes and 15 on the clock, but hopefully we get going sooner. As much as I have a like-hate relationship with Scylla, I mentioned this during the IFAR broadcast on Cheese Food Media when he ran at that league's Atlanta. That was a night race. He's one of those people who you don't really think about when it comes to who could be the potentials to win the race. He was running fairly well in the top 10 or so, and then got branched off into his own doing as he misses pit lane. I can only glaze him for so long before he returns to the Scylla motion that at very minimum I used to. GLP, Joseph Landy Pavlon, your current points leader. He has one win this season at Auto Club, and that wasn't without a fair fight with Tranor, Rodriguez, and Gregory, I believe, the 3 other cars, directly in pursuit. While that was mostly because of track position and just I wouldn't call it a poor version of Auto Club, but maybe the I could use some work there, but he made use of the tires and gained the track position out of the pit lane and managed his stuff until the other 3 I mentioned are directly behind him. So honestly, heading into tonight, he's one of the favorites. Alexander Hunt, if I'm correct, he was the fastest in practice, but again, it's Atlanta, is going to be tire degradation, so how much does 1 lap pace matter? Not very. unless it happens to go into a shootout. So, if Alexander Hans is in position on a late race caution, he could make use of his short run speed and get himself to the front if it ever comes down to it. Got Mullen, who just exists, Lee, who exists, Fisher, got murdered. And it's going to be a fairly long race. It's 82 laps, which is not as big as IFAR does now. In fact, that'll be the distance that IFAR used to run, like 30% of the race length. So it's a guaranteed two-stop race. It's just a matter of how well do these drivers save their tires to make use of it, not just in the first run after pit stops, second run rather, but all throughout the race if there were to be no caution. And we're off to the races. Give me a moment to set up and we should be good to go. Like I mentioned, 82 laps tonight. This is 2x rare, so guaranteed to stop at minimum. Cut physics, default DXC, points of no return, and 4 to go. For the Quaker State 400 at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Budweiser Cup Series. This is season number 7, race 4.
Drivers, start your engines!
And someone did not grid up. That was 5th place. 5th place driver who did not queue, and he is Skylar rigging a bit of a punt. Trying to roll off, but we're good. It's a hot day in Hampton. Got 16 cars slated to take the green flag. Pace cars shall roll in. It'll be Deeg and Scylla on the front row. We're waiting, and we are green, underway, and Deeg already spins the tires, and that's going to be an immediate reset. Every one of them. Was there even a survivor in that? Well, now grant us a reset before making crash, unfortunately, so I'm gonna. Well, at least I got that on stream before my game crashed. So I'll get back in the server as soon as I can. A minute, just give me a couple more seconds here. Alright, try it again. After we rejoin the server, pace car heads in. It'll be Deeg and Scylla. Front row. Hopefully they don't spin the tires this time. Waiting for the flagman. Green flag. Everyone gets through cleanly this time. Underway at Atlanta. And they're already 3 wide. Garcia did not get the start he wanted, and he's going to slide up barely into Aiden Scott, who's still getting bounced up into the wall. Shionome also getting a piece of it. And they'll take their relatively decent qualifying efforts and throw it out the window because they're button last. It's going to be Daniel Silla who leads us after lap 1. Pavlon moves up to 2nd. Deeg falls to 3rd. Going to be side-by-side action. This is for 5th place. If I can get my camera to move. There we go. Alexander Hunt trying something on Trenor. He's going to go to the inside through turns 1 and 2. This is for 4th place, and he gets a spot. Trenor now in the clutches of Cooper Wall, I think, 42 for 5th place. Side by side, also Garcia, after not getting the start he wanted, he's trying to work himself back up. He's gonna pass Pinky Ponky for that'll be 7th place. Not clear. Oh, he's gonna get net coded, unfortunately. And he's going to be spinning on the outside wall, only a single car. Back up towards the front, Hunt has gathered the leaders. Avon gonna lose 2nd place to Skylar Deeg on the outside. A little close for comfort back here. This Trenor working on Hunt once again. And right now, as someone who's ran this track so many times, I'm not liking the pace that these leaders are running as they're nearly 3 wide for 2nd place. I'm not liking the pace they're running. They're going to shred their tires easily if they keep it where they are. They have fallen down a little bit since then, down to 29 3s, 4s, seeing a couple of 1s, 2s up here in the top 6. Meanwhile, Cooper Wall and Ace, Fisher 9s, Mullen 10s, G-Man 11s, they're opting to conserve their tires and just being in a single file train and let them fall backwards. The lead group fall backwards, I should say. And Gregory trying to make quick work of Punky for a top 5 position. Goes to the inside. And he still likely remains side by side. And speaking of side by side for the lead, Havla on the outside, Scylla on the inside. No help for that 56 car. And it's going to be JLP to the lead once he gets clear, and he does. The gap here is between 7th place, Trenor, 8th place, Cooper Wall, roughly a second. They're gonna fall out of the draft if they don't keep up. As much as I don't want them to shred their tires, if they're not within draft, they're going to cost themselves big if the run goes long enough. Scylla, after losing the lead, falling like a rock, down to 4th place now. Here comes Gregory for 5th for that exchange. Trenor with the slide job's going to clip the wall, and she'll have to be stuck side by side with the 60 once more. And Pinky Ponky defends 6th place, but they're going to lose time to what is now the top 5. 10 laps into the Budweiser Cup Series from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Round 4 of the season, GLP leads over Alexander Hunt, who has the momentum and is going to go to the inside. Trying to keep his nose in front. And remain side by side with the number 68. And just lurking behind them, Skylar D. 67 gets clear. Yeah, new leader, or third a different one of the day, as I don't believe Skylar D, our pole sitter, has led a lap yet. Something happened this month back here that didn't get captured, only got it through a whisper, and someone spun. That's Hector Garcia, actually, so something must have happened. Quick look at it. 30 gets into the wall, and it's going to take a slow spin, and it's going to go down the pit lane. That's just one of those things you can't really do, especially when it comes to a track like this. He is in the pit lane, but he's going to lose multiple laps from it. Well, 3 wide for the lead. Sorry, there's 3 wide. Only 2 of them are going for the lead. That's Hector Garcia, a lapped car with rear end damage. Gonna have to putter around for another 70 laps or so. Yeah, Avalon trying something on the 67. Thankfully, it's unsponsored, at least for now. And no speed on the bottom. Hunt has the outside advantage, is able to defend against Landy Pavlon. So now they've fallen down to 29 7s, 8s, 9s, around that range. At least the top 5 are, and there's a bit of a gap. Pinky Ponky 6th place, having to lead only themselves and Garcia. $60 in chat referring to the contact they had with Garcia's likely neck code. I did see that, and I also came to the quick conclusion, if I can speak correctly, that it was netcode. So hopefully nothing else escalates between those two. Got a battle for second. Avalon trying to defend it against Deeg. Currently able to do so. And we got G-Man and Tronor 7th and 8th having caught the number 60, trying to form their own little pack. Mullen, Fisher by themselves, Shinonome, Scott, Lieb, all by Simpson, all by themselves. Meanwhile, the top 5 has pulled away, so that effort in the 3-car cavalry of 6th through 8th is the only hope for them to get back into the fight. As Pavlon going for the lead on Hunt, we saw this before. But the outside is just stronger when it comes to side-by-side action. Comes Scylla for 3rd place. Scylla making his first start this season. It's one of those sleeper picks I mentioned. And winning Gregory, also 5th place, waiting in the wings. I think Gregory is in the best position in terms of tire saving. He's got the most amount of draft, meaning he can back up the corners more, therefore carrying less speed on entry, and that's one of the main reasons why tires are so frustrating to manage. It's mostly on entry, where you're trying to sacrifice speed, but you don't want to give up too much speed, if you will. So 23 laps complete, due for pit stops soon. It's a 2x race, mind you, so fuel window is 30 to 35 laps. Alexander Hunt currently leads over Landy Pavlon, Deeg, Scylla, and Gregory your top 5, with G-Man, Chanor making a pass on Pinky Ponky for 7th, Alex Mullen 9th, Garcia's lapped, and Cooper Wall your top 10. No DNFs. Everyone is on track still. Only Garcia 1 lap down, and Bobby Simpson 3 laps down. So first pit stop are soon. And lap 20, if you want to split this up into 3 even stints, you would pit this next time round at lap 27. But I would honestly suggest going as far as you can. That way you have more tire to work with, and it will play into your favor in the second stint. Get yourself back in contention come the final 20 laps or so, whenever that second pit stop comes around. Alright, got 1 taker so far, that being Landy Pavla, number 68. He's gonna try to use the undercut to get track position. It's going to be 45 mile per hour pit speed. He shall go, and he'll set the benchmark of when the leaders have to respond to pit. Fisher's also in the pits. They were by themselves at 9th last time I checked. And Lieb going a lap down. And going to brush the wall in front of the remaining of the top 4. No harm, no foul so far from the 09. That they're about to collide, but we're all good. Babylon leaves the pits. It gives you a good idea of lap 28 was when he pitted, so whenever these remaining leaders pit, they're thinking they can go longer to capitalize on GLP later on, which is honestly the better call in my opinion. Like, if any of these 3 wanted to cover up the number 68, they would have done so already, but it's been 3 laps since the JLP machine pitted, so they're going to go long. They're on lap 31 now, so we expect them to come in soon, roughly within the next 3 laps because that is when the fuel window approaches to its maximum capacity. Garcia, Wall pitting, and leaving the pit lane. Expecting the number 51 in. Alex Bowman is coming in. Get G-Man and Ponky side by side. And that would be for 6th. Scott's. Just my question is, when do these 3 pit? As soon as I say that, Alexander Hunt finally breached down the pit lane. He spent the most amount of time up front, so that field is likely not going to play into his favor. And Alex Mullen just bended his pit stop. I don't know how you bend it that badly, but sure. He forgot where his box was. That defeats the, I say, the primary focus of happy hour. You had the time to figure out where your pit box is, and he didn't make use of it. So we get the 56 coming in this time. This is lap 34. That's a 13 follow. Gotta need a drafting buddy. And I see them slowing down. They are indeed coming in. Top 2. Likely the final ones to pit on this cycle. Big lockup for Scylla. Hopefully he doesn't get a black flag. So JLP is coming to unlap himself now, so Hunt's there, so there's already good enough of advantage from that, so I mean, actually I can't track that because they're lapped. Well, one of them was, only Hunt's, so I cannot accurately track the distance between those two. 13:56 leaving the pit lane. JLP cruises on by to the race lead. Alexander Hunt also makes good use going to 2nd place as a drafting buddy of Aiden Scott and a number 12, Herman Gregory, also leaving the pits. Could be a 3-man tandem versus JLP all by his lonesome. Now we get to see gaps 2 seconds between the top 2. And going to find a 56, that's 7 seconds. And where is the 13? Oh, they got a black flag? That is very baffling that the 13, Skylar D, gets a black flag for speeding, and yet the 56 doesn't, despite locking up into pit entry. So that leaves 3 cars competitive. And he's from this first run. Not a good look for the lap car of Bobby Simpson. Don't know what that block was all about, trying to get out of the way. I don't know what that was about, but that's just being unpredictable. And he's gonna do a similar motion to Harrison G-Man. Oh, yeah, contact. That is Laura Trenor going for a spin. Pinky Ponky also getting a bit of damage. And is that turn number 4? The 18 is going to go to the apron and remain under green flag conditions. And a tough break for Trenor. They were running top. They were running in 4th place prior to that wreck. Oh, there's a caution just for that, actually. So, JLP wins the race back with Hunt 2nd place. And quite a bit of lap cars in between before you find Daniel Silla in 3rd place. So hopefully, before they pit, get a better look at what transpired between Chonor and Punky. Is entering 3. Is 60 lost it? I very strange. And just slipped it. Slipped in an entry, overcorrected. Simple as that. Maybe better to see if you're on a car chase. Maybe chase actually. I don't know, because the wheel on it doesn't have a little thing on them. But throttle's up, and that's the one thing you don't want to do when you're spinning. It's throttling up to upset the car even more. It's just one of those things they're gonna have to learn. Under our first caution period in the Budweiser Cup Series. Quite a bit of lap traffic, and the 60 of Pinky Ponky has fallen out, so they'll have to rejoin. The pit lane open only for the lead lapped cars. GLP, Hunt leading that group. Scylla, G-Man, Fisher, Chanor. So only 6 cars want a lead lap. Hunt overshot his spy. That's going to cost him 2nd place, I believe. It is a skewed pit exit, which is baffling. Sella's gonna get 2nd. G-Man, Fisher. Go and look back at that and give you a better points. Well, Sella was going to win off pit lane for 2nd place anyway, but that's just one of those things where, if Sella was here versus Hunt here-ish, it would have given Sella the credit. So that's just one of those things, unfortunately, for most of these cookie cutter tracks. So now, second time round, the lap cars get to pits. And that will include just about everyone. So Bobby Simpson, the only car not to pit, he'll get a wave around. GLP, Silla, Hunt, G-Man, Fisher, Chanor, your top 6. I believe that was... no. Yeah. Garcia ended up 3rd out. Hold on. Huh. I guess they retired? Yep. 30 out of the race, so 2 retirements so far. Number 60, Pinky Ponky, and you just witnessed the 2nd one with Bobby Simpson. Hector Garcia back into the pit lane. Got that code correct from the number 60, and we might as well take you through the Turkey timeline while we're under caution. Initial start was crazy, with Garcia having to do a bit of a micro correction, sending Scott into the wall, and then number 51 of Shinonome also getting a piece of it. Yep, that's just netcode. Triples that for these two. Which is unfortunate for Garcia. He was one of those people I think could have gotten top 5. Got Simpson with issues, but I think we're going green actually, so we're going to cut that off, unfortunately. Never mind, they called it off. We shall continue them, and we have more time in our hands. Wow. Fisher pitting, that's just server thing. I don't know why that is. There was a spin from Simpson, I just need to find it again. I think it was here. This was lap 12 of the race, with Bobby Simpson just spun by himself into the pit lane, hence why he was 3 laps down. Continuing onward. Lap 37, this is the caution. Our only one so far. Pinky Ponky overcorrects it into Trenor. The Trenor didn't know where to go in there. And that was classified as a 2-car accident. But Trenor still came out on a lead lap and is going to restart 6th. Just behind GOP, Scylla, Hunt, G-Man, and Fisher, as we are going green. We are back underway. .44 in the books, so that means, if I can math, 38 laps. I think that's savable. You just gotta really commit to it. You're back. But I think most drivers here will opt for the 1 stop just to play it safe. I mean, if you want to do 2 tires, go ahead. Because these drivers are going to need a splash of fuel regardless. They have turned up the ante, as much like the initial start, they are just running blistering laps, as we might as well take a look at that. Alexander Hunt, who just lost the race lead actually to GLP during the first pit cycle. He has the fastest lap so far, and Scott 2nd place with William Gregory 3rd on the fastest lap charts. And quite a bit of battles. Despite this, got Fisher on the top side, 8th place. And they'll lose that position over to Gregory. Got, yeah, everyone except for Garcia on the lead lap. Garcia's gonna have to catch a big break if he were to get back into this thing. Shionome going past Mullen. Back here, this is for 10th? Yes, 10th place. GLP leading the way much like he did in California under the lights at the now defunct Auto Club Speedway. Top 6 have broken off into their own pack. Gregory, 7th place, trying to do something in 7th. And Trenor, 8th. Yeah, just the back half of the pack here, they kind of strung out really massively, so that's why the lead group is a place you want to be. You got everyone who will match each other. They're going to bounce off each other. Not in a literal sense. That as soon as I say that, Alexander Hines gets punted into turn number 3, stuck in the outside wall. There's only going to be a single car. No caution needed. But that'll be heavy damage to Hans. He was such a great contender to win this race, and unfortunately that all goes unraveled. So at least 5 in the lead group, and Scott bounces off the wall, so that brings in a 6th contender to replace Hans. William Gregory with the head of steam, going to shoot himself to 5th. See what happened actually between these goobers. Well, 67 blinked out for just a second, and I don't think G-Man had time to react to it. Question mark. I'll go on board with G-Man real quick. And, well, he still ran him over regardless. Oh, I'm saying it's on the 97 there. G-Man remains unscathed in 4th place. This is the Budweiser Cup Series from Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Quaker State 400, as we just completed 54 laps out of 82. GLP leading over Silla, Deeg, G-Man, and Gregory, your top 5, and Scott about to lose a draft, and Tranor, Fisher, Shinonome, and Cooper Wall completing your top 10. 2 retirements, that being Bobby Simpson and Pinky Ponky. Hector Garcia, the only lapped car, being 2 laps behind the leader. So as I mentioned, there might be one more stop on the horizon. More likely so, because you're asking these drivers to do 38 laps on a single set of tires. Even in max saving, I don't think it's necessarily enough to get you to the end on fuel. So yeah, as these drivers have been pushing, they're gonna have to do a 1 stop. Now, we went green on lap 45, so I want to say around lap 68 to 69 is when we should see these drivers pit. I lied, it was 62 to 63 if you want to split it evenly. But even what you do in that 1 stop, I feel like your best bet is to do 4 tires. I did bring up the idea of 2, but I don't think it will come into fruition come the checker flag. Not to mention, if there's a caution, all that gamble you took taken with 2 is not going to benefit you. That car up ahead, that is Hunt. Just a heartbreak for the 67 team. Top 3 have broken off. Gregory waiting in the wings. And G-Man by himself in 5th. Got 1 car, sorry, that being Bo and Fisher on the apron of turn 2. They're already out of the way. Yeah, Gangle here. This is being for 6th place. Tranor on the outside. And Pepsi coming in as their new sponsor. And Scott in the 17 who nearly walls the 51 of Shionome. 20 laps left. Right now is that this is your pit window to split evenly, get to the end of the race. And Fisher in the pits there, having to do service after spinning. Bad. 19 to go at the line here. So we're expecting pit stops, and it might be a game of chicken amongst these 3. Just who pits first? And do you go longer to take up any speed to catch the remaining 2? So none of these drivers have pitted yet. We're at that point where you could pit here, make it to the end, go full blast. No one, apart from Bo and Fisher, have opted to do so. Laps are winding down. I would honestly take this advantage. But who knows? I could be proven wrong. I'm never always the best strategist. Overtake here. Fisher on Scott, not for position, but still something to keep track of. For the lead, here comes Scylla on the inside. Across the line, ooh, dead even. GLP gets credit for the lap led, but Scylla will be your race leader into turn 1. Coming to 15 to go this time round. Skylar D in 3rd place. Got William Gregory in 4th. Hunt, lap down. G-Man 5th. Shionome 6th. Tranor 7th. Got Ian Sky in 8th. Cooper Wall in 9th. Alex Boland fighting Ryan Leib for the top 10. And we got a pitter, GLP. We saw this earlier. He's going to do the undercut. Yeah, 13, 12 are responding. They have to cut him off. Well, this is a block that's Hunt on G-Man. And apparently caution points on no return, sorry, will be at 5 to go, not 4 to go. So, my bad. The remaining 3 have opted to pit together. It's going to be a crucial pit stop. Who gets out in front of who? And do any of them get ahead of JLP? I'm gonna go find him right now. He is on the backstretch, I presume. Yep, he out of the pits, entering 3 now. And Gregory need to get sideswiped by Cooper Wall. All 3 of them are going to come out together. That sounds gay, but you do you. JLP with the head of steam, gonna go on board with them. Does he have the speed to get in front of the leaders? When he doesn't, he's going to be only onto the back bumper of Gregory now, exiting 4. Meanwhile, Harrison G-Man pits. These 4, Deeg, and then this group of 3. This is for the win, as the rest of the field has yet to pit. Yeah, Chanor, Shionoma, Meeb, Mullen, G-Man I saw entering pits, and Alexander Hunt all get to pit. There goes one of them. So with 12 to go, sorry, it's still anyone's guess on who will win. And this poses an interesting case for JLP. At Dollar Club, he had the lead, he had the track position, he was able to be on the defense. Now, 2 weeks later, at Atlanta, he's gotta flip the script. He is on the offense, so he needs to get by Daniel Silla in an efficient way and buy himself enough time to set up a pass on Skylar Deeg. Coming to 10 to go this time round. Laps are winding down in Hampton, Georgia. Here goes Lanny Pavlon inside. Still remains side by side. If you're stuck side by side, that's going to mean less laps to get himself in front of the 13. He couldn't make the pass. Silla with the outside momentum keeps 3rd, and now he's gotta go defense to defend 3rd from Gregory. That leaves Daniel Silla with a comfy, I wouldn't say comfy margin, but with enough breathing room to catch Skylar Deeg, the sleeper pick, 2nd place in relative and provisional, as I believe everyone has came down the pits now. We're still waiting on 1. That is Alex Mullen. I hear him clutching. So he is going to be likely the only driver to go for the gamble, stay out the entire way of this final stint, trying to go 38 laps on his fuel tank to get himself to the checkered flag in 1st place. And that way you do, if you're the top 4 provisionally, do you sit in line and get to Mullen? Or do you fight among yourselves? It looks to be the fighting has been dealt with. As we hit 6 to go, they're all strung out. 32 versus Deeg's 29s. This is going to be an easy pass. And that is the race lead Yep, Alex Mullen just loses the lead in a swift manner. He's gonna try to maybe stay out to get himself a top 5. Where is 6th place? That is Lord Trenor exiting 4, so maybe he has enough time. So now with Alex Mullen out of the picture, this leaves Daniel Silla back in hot pursuit. William Gregory has also been waiting. He's just someone who's waiting in the wings, much like a basketball character, if you will. Coming to 3. And these top 3 nearly even. William Gregory set the fastest amongst these 3 last time round. Now it goes the other way. Skylar Deeg fastest lap of that time round. 385 versus Silas 242. Or sorry, 424. Got those mixed up. Got a little bout here. 8th place with Scott on G-Man entering 1. And Ronald seems strong gal. I think Mullen is really slow. I think he's out of fuel actually. He is ultra saving. This man gambled way too hard, unfortunately. Through turn 4. When it's had been a class of masterminds, they will receive the white flag. Silla versus Deeg. Yeah, he's got the run, he's got the outside. Gonna use that speed. You got one more chance to turn number 3. Oh, Steve gonna one shot. Silla runs him over into the wall, goes to 56. But that means Skylar Deeg comes across the line to win at Atlanta. Silla, but just so close, but Skylar Deeg gets their first win of the season. Really good finish, but I expected some side by side. Silla did try that, but the 13 just washed up, and Silla just barely clips the right rear quarter of the number 13. Sky League, number 13, Patagonia, sponsored for tourists, burns it down in front of the Georgia crowd. And I think that's it from them. Yep. About short-lived. Very good. We only have one caution this race, and that was about it. GLP did try, but fortunately he just pitted too early. Here is your unofficial results. With Silla's little slip up, running into the 13, that promotes William Gregory to 2nd. Then it is Lanny Pavlon 4th, Trenor 5th, Shianome 6th, G-Man 7th, Wall 8th, Scott in 9th, the last car to finish the lead lap, and Alex Mullen with the gamble runs out of fuel, and actually he didn't, he was just really slow. He ends up finishing 1 lap down in 10th. Bowen Fisher in 11th, Ryder Lieb in 12th, Alexander Hunt, in 13th, Hector Garcia 14th, last car to finish on the track. Then Bobby Simpson and Pinky Ponky will complete the 16-car grid from tonight's events. I'll be real. Oh, I was going to say, I don't expect any interviews, so I was gonna call it off early, but then we got like 3 or 4 people waiting in the. Mm, Okay, then. At least we get interviews this time in this league. So, who do we bring up first? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I choose you. Ken and Dragon.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello.
Skylar D, do you got me?
Den, yes.
Well, when that was, huh? Talk us through your race.
Uh, Pretty hectic. The first round of pit stops, I got a black flag, got started in like 8th, and then I had to fight my way back through. Second round of pit stops, I did it perfect. Best execution I think I've ever done on pit road, and that gave me the lead for it, and I just held it from there.
Was there a bit of nervousness from you in the final 2 laps as Scylla was closing in on you?
Absolutely. He got bigger and bigger in my mirror. I thought he was gonna get me on that last lap into 3 and 4, but thankfully he didn't.
The next race is Darlington, actually, for the Budweiser Cup Series. If you do show up, what do you expect from it?
I'm not totally that good at Darlington. I think a top 5 would be nice to come from there.
I don't have any more questions, so congratulations on your win tonight at Atlanta. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
Actually, take up a runner-up.
User was moved to your channel.
William Gregory, do you got me?
Hold on, say again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Let me turn you up, actually. Well, you got runner-up, and honestly, you're just a driver who just stuck to the shadows. Was that your plan
Yeah.
all along?
I mean, sort of. I mean, I've never been like a driver who's been up on the front in the long run. I've just sort of been mid-pack, sort of. So very surprising to me. I guess I got in range for a win here. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, even if you didn't have the speed, you can at least try, I suppose. You gotta
Yeah.
fight, at least attempt to fight. You can't just sit back there and collect
I
the
was kind of
royalties
I was
for
kind of trying
second.
to push on the second round of green flag pit stops and like the last to the end to try to catch to Skyler and them, but kind of cooked my tires a bit too much.
Well, that's just Atlanta for you. Next
Yeah,
week, Darlington. Any expectations for that?
I'm pretty good at the R10, I'd say. One of my favorite tracks on the NR actually provides a very good challenge, so looking forward to it.
All right, congratulations on your runner-up finish
Thank you.
at Atlanta. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for broadcasting too.
User was moved out of your channel.
Got this person. I very much despise him on track, or even some of his comments are just really out of pocket, but he gets a podium. He deserves one, honestly.
User was moved to your channel.
Daniel Silla.
Hello.
Well, you're a sleeper pick in my book. You prove yourself pretty well, running up in the top 5 all day. Ended up finishing 3rd.
Thank you. You had a very hard fought day. I know that this was Atlanta. I've run this track before. I ran well here back in like 2 years ago, so I just used what I knew. But combination of pit stop woes, I came in ahead of Skylar both times on the pit road, and it's kind of fumbled through there. And then I tried to get to the back. I was about there, I was trying to make a run off the outside, but I guess I just wasn't as clear as I thought I was. I tipped and got on the wall, got into Gregory P3. At least I proved that at least I beat the allegations, that the slow allegations. I led laps today on speed, so that feels pretty good.
And I want to bring up your IFAR performance. Did that have anything to carry over into tonight?
Absolutely. I use I every Atlanta except for the super speedway, I drive about the same. So or a little same, but just with the extra steps. So I just say that most definitely the Atlanta is probably my best track in NR.
We got Darlington next week. It might be depending on what version on it, what it is. I suppose that tire saving strategy you've been doing could play a huge factor into next Friday.
Mm-hmm. I've ran well at Darlington too in DSRA and I think in LSCC, so I feel like I should carry over pretty well. If not a winning performance like it was today, maybe a top five, most definitely. Thank you.
Well, congratulations on your third place finish. I honestly, you could have won it, but the 13 just slid up in front of you. It's just one of those racing deals, but you
He
did.
was fast too.
Yeah.
Mhm. Very
Yeah,
good
you,
job by Skyler. He was he was a tough opponent. So was Joseph and William.
yep. Uh, Good job in
Thank you.
P3 regardless. Amazing performance. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Victor. Have a nice night.
User was moved out of your channel.
And that, my folks, is the tamest interview the tamest I've seen Daniel Silla speak. I suppose it gotta be professional every once in a while. Got two more up, starting with
User was moved to your channel.
Cooper Wall. Do you got me?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna be real. I haven't been paying attention much to you. You kind of were just in a mid pack. Talk us through your race.
So early on, I qualified sixth. So I was really happy with where I qualified, but um, I got really tight in turn two and just faded to the back. I got a black flag on my first pit stop, so I just had to serve that. I was ended up in the back, but at the end, I was battling through it, making up some time, and ended up I think finishing eighth. So I'm really proud of that.
We got Darlington coming up next Friday. You got any strategies you're cooking up in order to get a better finish? Maybe a top five?
Honestly, I don't know. Darlington's honestly a really hard track for me just because of how you have to basically ride the wall the entire time. But hopefully, I'll be able to get a good finish there, keep the momentum going, and get some good finishes this season.
Well, your persistence should pay off. Congratulations on your top 10 finish. Thank you for joining me.
All right, thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
And last but not least,
User was moved to your channel.
Shinonome, do you got me?
Yes, I do.
Well, much like Cooper Wall, you kind of were just in a mid pack doing your own thing. How about that race of yours?
Yeah, I got kind of cucked on lap one with I don't know who was making it through right at the start, and I got hit by Aiden trying to come down on the wall, and then from there on, I was hugging the high lane. I was making that work. Everyone was doing the bottom, just trying to keep up with the pack. But if you see, I was zipping through the high lane. It was actually really really fun, even if my lap times didn't really show it. I was really really good on the long run. If only a caution didn't come out, and then that restart where the checkup happened, I think I would have been up there. Not as fast in the short run, but definitely in the long run if it went green all the way.
Going to be a calm night in the admin room in terms of penalties. So, how about we turn over to next Friday when we go to Darlington?
I don't really know. I'm usually silent at Darlington. If we go green, mostly it would be really really fun. Darlington's a driver's racetrack. You really just gotta hustle and save your tires, and I really like doing that. So hopefully, I can just be quiet and then show up in the long run, hopefully.
If you believe enough, you can do anything. Congratulations on finishing the race in one piece. Thank you for joining me.
All right, thank you, and thank you for broadcasting as well. Thank you much, Victor.
User was moved out of your channel.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna wrap this up as quick as I can because I haven't ate in quite a while. I didn't even eat breakfast. So I'm running on an empty stomach for the past 10 hours. So I'm trying to wrap this up as quick as I can, eat dinner, and be ready for Essex, which is tonight. Now, currently ongoing right now. You can find it on Cheese Food Media. Both races tonight, actually. Tomorrow, OSCC at Daytona, beginning at 7:55. I4 goes to Pocono. I'll be there tomorrow to co-commentate with Zach on Cheese Food Media. And DSRA for their 12th season, kicking things back up at Daytona per usual at 9:30. Darlington up next on the Budweiser Cup Series schedule and also the next stream on MCRP as BPNR is taking the off week. So there's no race this Tuesday, but they'll be back on April 7th for Kentucky. So with that, until next Friday for the Budweiser Cup Series at Darlington, thank you for watching